Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing well and studies for the November 24 students hopefully starting to get into full swing. So meeting you after a long time, we were actually on a backpack trip across Uttarakhand and Himachal for the last 40-45 days. Now that we are back, there would be revision videos coming your way. But before that, a lot of things have happened. May 24 results are just round the corner. Team India has done it for us and we are now the world champions. And for the November 24 students, we are into the last 4 months of our preparations. So with all the euphoria of the World Cup behind us, it's time to kind of get into the groove. It is the CA day and wish you all a very happy CA day and for the aspiring students as well. So in today's video is a very important video. We would want to kind of discuss the study planner and the tracker for CA final financial reporting, and we'll put a separate video for AFM as well. Now this is a very important video. We will share this file on Telegram as well, because FR being a very big subject, it is usually the first subject that the student typically starts while preparing during the study leave, but the sheer size of the course makes it a little intimidating. How many days or hours should we take? What is the sequence we should follow? How do we tackle MCQs, etc. A lot of this will get discussed in today's video, so ensure that you kind of watch it till the end. So first of all, for financial reporting, preferably I have given 3 study plans, as you can see over here. One is if you take around 10 to 12 days, 12 to 14 days and around 14 to 16 days. Generally, by talking to students and getting their feedback over the years, we generally think that the 12 to 14 day plan is the apt plan. So don't be overly ambitious and try to complete FR. At least in your first revision, in the 8 to 10 days, probably you will not be able to do proper justice, and do not even let it go to eternity for around 20-25 days. Ensure that you kind of stick to around the 12 to 14 day plan. What we have tried to do is we have tried to break the course into 7 different sections. So first, we would suggest that you start with asset linked index, all of them, your PP, intangibles, impairment, borrowing cost, everything except for leases. So leases we do something at the end. We have given you kind of targets which are standard wise and an actual. So preferably, for example, if you were to start with PP and let's say it is going to take you 6 hours and you took, let us say, 7 hours, so you say 7 and plus 1, so kind of you know that you are running 1 hour extra. It is very important that you take a printout and track it. Otherwise the course is such that it will kind of you might end up taking more time. You might not really know how much time it takes, so ensure that you track it. Again, these are indicative. For certain topics you might take more or less. These are general indicative points. On an average, around 25 to 30 hours is what is taken for the asset linked index. So these are smaller index. Almost every index should get over in a time of, on an average, 3 to 4 hours. Some standards like impairment or a PP, etc. might take slightly longer, whereas something like investment property might take slightly less. But keep a target of around 3 to 4 hours on an average for these topics. So now you are in the groove. The starting we have kept slightly slower as well, because you're just getting into the groove of preparations and studies. So by now you are in the momentum, and this is the right time where you go into the share-based payment and financial instruments. The heart of your syllabus is financial instruments, so ensure that you do it at the beginning. Share-based payment is a good starting point. Finish share-based payment and then spend a decent enough time, I would say close to around 15 to 20 hours in financial instruments. Do not cut corners over here. If you understand this well, it kind of sets a very good base for your syllabus. Now at this point, one might always think that while we are preparing, should we write chapter wise test, or when do we do the MCQs? Generally, I would prefer that if you do the MCQs either from the ICI BOS portal or from the MCQ booklet that we would have shared, try to do that simultaneously. And while you're doing the MCQs, ensure that you mark the MCQs that you're not getting correct. Bookmark it, mark it in whatever form, so that when you're revising for the next time, you kind of focus on the MCQs. So chapter wise, as and when index 16 is done, immediately do the index 16 MCQs. Index 38 done, do the index 38 MCQs. At this point, preferably if you have enrolled for some test series, or if you have our tests and you have taken the lectures, whatever, if possible, try to write the tests section wise. For example, around 20-25% of the portion gets done and it is helpful to write a test. At the time of first revision, it is not advisable to write the full portion test. It is something that you do at the time of the second revision. Once your second revision gets over, the day your second revision gets over is the day where you write a full 100-mark test in general. This is the point where you do the MCQs chapter wise, and then section wise if possible. Try to write tests if possible. Otherwise, ensure that you cover up the material. Once your share-based payment and financial instruments gets done, again financial instruments gets a little heavier, so might as well switch to the smaller, digestible, smaller chunks of standards. So liabilities and disclosure linked standards like EPS, provisions and contingencies. So first we finished assets, then financial instruments, then you go to the liabilities and disclosure related standards. So you kind of get your sanity back after you have kind of bombarded with financial instruments, and then you do the group based accounting. So when we look at group based accounting as the fourth part, this is business combination, consolidation and its allied topics. At this point, you should ensure that at least for the bigger questions of business combination or the bigger questions for consolidation, do some detailed pen and paper practice, because getting the flow of the solution is equally important as understanding the adjustments. So spend some time, a good 30-40 hours for this section. We have also included items like income taxes, foreign exchange, which have a strong connection with these topics. Like you have a lot of income tax, deferred tax adjustments along with business combination. So it is a good time to kind of finish your income tax side by side along with the group based accounting as well. So what we've tried to do is we have tried to split the indices, then big topics, again indices, liability related, then the big topics, then again a few smaller indices which are remaining. Now this is where you can speed up. These are relatively not so important indices like index 1, index 8, index 10, etc., where you can kind of speed up and kind of cover them up. We don't want to do it right at the beginning, otherwise we will spend a lot of time and we don't even want to leave it. So this is a point where you do other indices and topics. This is something which you can do in a much more faster, maybe around 7-8 hours. You sit for a single day and kind of finish this entire thing, and then you go to revenue and leases. Now some students might want to do revenue and leases earlier, so you can do that. There's no problem in that. You can do lease along with the section of assets, and you can do revenue probably along with these other indices as well. But if you are the type of person who cannot really focus on the bigger topics at one go, then might as well spread it and do revenue and leases at the end. While doing so, ensure that you do the numerical parts properly, because these standards do almost always come. So the numerical section over here is quite important, and then at the end the theory topics, a conceptual framework, technology, ethics, etc. You will get a question also on these parts. Preferably doing it at the end should kind of work. So this all in all, we will expect you to take around 130 to 140 hours covering the MCQs as well. That is, if you kind of plan to study 8 to 10 effective hours, it might sound to be a little daunting, but as and when you start getting into the groove, probably we are counting an average of 8 to 10 hours. This is for students who are already in their study leave and preparing. If you kind of complete on a day, you will be in a position to complete financial reporting, doing all proper justice to the course over the course of 12 to 14 days. Probably keeping a buffer of a day or so, but ensure that when you are tracking it, ensure that you write the actual number of hours that you have taken. We have even kept a separate section for MCQs, maybe for all of them, but the MCQs, at least if you see from our material, we have also given minute wise time for each topic, or even from the institute you will have a time barrier, so you will know it will not take a lot of time, at least for the smaller topics. Ensure that you do everything, touch upon everything. At this point there might be stages where you start getting a little burnt out. At that point, if possible, start parallelly another subject. So if you are putting the entire day for financial reporting and you are starting to get a little burnt out, probably club it with another subject. Still 70-75% of the day is financial reporting and 20-25% clubbed with some other subject. But ensure that you kind of don't leave something half-hearted. At least complete the entire material, all the topics. Gives you a lot of peace of mind. That's about it. It's a revision planner and a tracker. give it your best shot. You have the next 4 months all for you, and with good enough revision, 2 to 3 revisions, and you should be definitely aiming for 70 plus in this subject, because what usually comes in the exams are questions from the study material. There is not some attempts, keeping aside, there's usually not a lot of tinkering in the FR. You do get questions directly from the mat because it is such a wide topic. So ensure that you do everything. It is the first paper, gives you a lot of confidence and momentum. So wishing you all the best. We will stay in touch with more revision videos coming your way. Good luck, keep up the positive momentum and go for it. November 24 is yours. Good luck and see you soon. Bye bye. Take care.